Good afternoon and welcome and thank you very much for joining us at our latest Travel Bulletin webinar. This time it's focused on the Indian Ocean. Many of the countries in this incredible part of the world are still open for business. And so hopefully this webinar will help you improve your understanding of the region and promote more bookings throughout 2021 and hopefully beyond. Our supplier partners will each deliver today a 10-minute presentation live on their particular product, and that will then be followed by a Q&A session. Please, I know it's interchangeable a little bit, but we'd like you to use for your questions the Q&A function on your Zoom platform, and then for anything else in between, by all means use the chat function, but for the questions, please submit them as we're going along through the presentation. Each presenter will also announce their competition prize and a question at the end of their training sessions. So you'll need to enter that via the Travel Bulletin website, which is travelbulletin.co.uk/webinar competition. The deadline to win any of today's prizes will be Thursday, the 5th of November at 4 p.m. Included in terms of prizes, we have champagne, we have rum, we have spices, we've got candles, and we've got a 5-night complimentary stay at the Siyam Valley, I think it is, which is also up for grabs. So I hope you're all feeling lucky. Well, you never know, by this time next year you might be sitting at the by the side of the pool sipping a cocktail in the luxurious Siyam Valley hotel. So let's hope so. So let's get moving. Without further ado, let me introduce our first presenter today. Thomas Cochrane is the sales director of Hummingbird Travel. Hello, Thomas.
Hi, Simon. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you very much. I've decided to put a lively shirt on today to try and cheer the mood.
Nice.
So yes, hopefully we'll bring a bit of sunshine into everyone's front rooms today. Have you got? Obviously, we saw Thomas. Those of you who saw us last week, we saw Thomas giving us a presentation on our luxury event we did last week. I've no doubt you've got an update on various things, Thomas, today.
Yeah, so things have changed a little bit since last we spoke. I got very excited last week because the Maldives joined the Seychelles on the travel corridor, which was great news for us because we specialize in those two destinations. But now this week, of course, the government is announcing UK national lockdown from, an England lockdown to join Wales. I think it's different in Scotland still, but England and Wales from Thursday, so no international travel from that until 2nd of December. So slightly scuppered our plans for bookings in November, beginning of December, but it's still good news that we are on that travel corridor. So as soon as we're allowed to travel abroad again, I'm pretty sure the Maldives and Seychelles will be two of the first destinations people will be aiming to go on.
I think you're absolutely right, and do tell us more. Go for it, Tom. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Well, just a brief introduction for those who don't know. Hummingbird Travel, we're an Indian Ocean specialist DMC. We work with travel agents and tour operators, and we specialize in 4 key destinations, which are the Maldives, Mauritius, Seychelles, and Sri Lanka. And we're actually based in those countries as well. So we have our central office in the UK, and we also have offices in the countries that we sell. So we're on the ground doing the meet and greet service, meeting your clients on arrival and taking them through to their transfer, and just making sure everything is looked after from the moment your clients arrive to the moment they leave. They're going to be looked after by Hummingbird, and we'll be updating you on the progress of their booking and that they arrived all safely. And if there's any issues, lost luggage, delayed flights, they are taken ill in any way, shape or form, then we'll of course update you and we'll be supporting the clients abroad. So everything with Hummingbird is a personalized service. If you work for us, you get a dedicated account manager who will be looking after your bookings and getting to know you a bit better, and hopefully giving you that training and that advice and knowledge that we have, having worked in the Indian Ocean for about 30 years, passing all that knowledge on to you and hopefully making it easier for you to sell these amazing destinations. We also have an online booking engine, which you're most welcome to use. It's quite an advanced system. We've just rolled out phase 2 of it, and we're excited now. It's going to be in our clients' hands. We're rolling it out to everyone. Well, we've been doing it for the last couple of weeks. So yeah, it's a new system. It's pretty advanced. It's quite flexible. It's got all the latest rates, availability, and offers loaded on it. So I was going to focus today on the Maldives, just because it was most recently added to the travel corridor next to Seychelles, and just to talk to you a little bit about how you can travel there once we are allowed to travel and leave the UK. But if any of you have any inclination to go to Maldives, you could potentially fly out today or tomorrow and get your holiday in before Thursday. So just a bit of advice there. But yeah, Maldives, Indian Ocean, south of Sri Lanka and India. And this is the international airport, Mali Airport, now connected to Mali International, so to Mali City by a bridge. We have our counter number there, so we meet your clients on arrival. And we also have a counter, so we're holding up a sign with their information, taking them through to their transfer. But in terms of what your clients need to do, well, they do need to take a PCR test before traveling. That's 96 hours before departure, and of course that test needs to be negative, and you'll need to get that done privately. You also need to fill out a health declaration form. I've just put the link for you there. So clients will go on there, they'll upload their negative test results, and also just declare that they're healthy and they don't have COVID, and they can travel as usual. But otherwise, yeah, the airport procedure is the same as it's always been. There's social distancing, but once you get through immigration, you can take your transfer, whether it's speedboat, domestic flight, or speedboat, and go to the island that you're staying at. So just a brief little look at the Maldives. It's made up of 1,190 coral islands spread throughout about 90,000 square kilometers of the Indian Ocean. So it's actually one of the world's most disparate countries. So the island's quite small, but the distance is quite big. So from like north to south is about 960 kilometers. It's basically an underwater mountain range, and the islands are like the pinnacles of those mountains. Soft, flat, white coral islands. This is the main area, north and south Mali Atoll. That's where all international rivals come into, is the Mali Atoll, and from there they'll take their transfer, wherever it's, again, speedboat, domestic flight, seaplane. The speedboat transfers service the north and south Mali Atoll. Seaplanes service islands that are a bit further away, too far for a speedboat to travel to, so you get a seaplane. So for example, if you're up in the northern Bar Atoll or the South Ari Atoll, you take a seaplane. But if you're staying in the north or south Mali Atoll, you take a speedboat. And what there is to see, well, amazing marine life, whale sharks, manta rays, great snorkeling, great diving, perfect clarity in the water. It's a great place to go for that, particularly. Also for like snorkeling, and if you don't fancy diving, you can snorkel around the house reefs. The coral reefs around the islands are really nice, and they're usually, like from this image here, they're accessible from the beach. So you're surrounded by a warm, shallow lagoon, and then you've got a nice coral reef to snorkel around. If you don't fancy getting wet, though, you can always dine underwater. There's a few resorts in the Maldives that have these underwater restaurants. You can also dine on the beach, dine in tree houses. The food and service, the caliber of the service in the Maldives is extremely high. So just an example of the kind of things that we sell if you were to work with Hummingbird. As a sort of good, cheap lead-in option, you've got something like Sun Island, 4-star, quite basic, but ticks all the boxes, and it is very affordable. Based in the South Ari Atoll, which is a seaplane transfer, and it's famous for being the best place to see whale sharks. So seaplane transfer, or you can take a domestic flight in a speedboat, and you stay at the South Ari Atoll, and yeah, you get to see whale sharks year round. The marine life is really, really good, and Sun Island is a good sort of launch pad if you want to do that kind of thing. It's a big island, you can cycle around it. It's got an array of restaurants and bars, and some very affordable rooms as well. You've got the standard beach bungalows and the superior beach bungalows, which are sort of direct access onto the beach. And then you've got their water bungalows, quite affordable as getting if you want to be on stilts over water, which is that sort of traditional Maldivian feel. And then newest room category is the beach pool villa, and quite a good idea if you've got guests who are on a really tight budget, but they want to have a private pool, especially now in this era of privacy and wanting to keep social distancing and everything. The beach pool villa at Sun Island is probably quite a good option. It's about $2,500 on half board for a 7-night stay if you were to arrive this December. Then on all inclusive, it's around $3,000 for a 7-night stay. So quite affordable and quite nice as well. Nice interiors, nice pool, and then direct access onto the beach. And then you've got an array of dining options as well, whether it's dining over water or they've got the Zero restaurant, which is on the interior of the island. So it's kind of like a fresh in the garden concept, dining in a treehouse. Quite fun. So that's an idea on some of the product we sell, but we basically sell everything. We sell sort of all 150 resorts in the Maldives, and we're very happy to give our recommendations. Company that we work with quite closely, Siyam Resorts, are going to be giving a presentation, and we're big fans of their properties. So I'm sure you'll enjoy Catherine's presentation there. But yeah, that's our contact details, phone number, and if we can help you at all, very happy to do so.
Fantastic, thank you, Thomas. That was that's really interesting in terms of all of the stuff that we've got. We're waiting for a few more questions, but I've got a couple here for you in terms of starting our Q&A. Agents, do send some more in as you can do on the Q&A function, and I can ask Thomas those as we go along. To start with, one of the things that came up in your presentation, which I've had 2 people ask about, was your focus on Sun Island, and you said that obviously you pictures of whale sharks and the wildlife there. Is there any particular other islands or particular destinations that you would focus on from a wildlife point of view?
Yeah, there's 2 key areas, I think, if you're really enthusiastic, particularly if you want to see whale sharks, manta rays, to visit. So the South Ari Atoll is very good for whale sharks year round. So that's where a lot of people travel to. And so Sun Island's one example, but you've also, you've got an array of properties. You've got Lily Beach, Lux South Ari, you've got Conrad, you've got a few properties there. So staying in South Ari Atoll is good for whale sharks. The Bar Atoll, the BAA Atoll Bar is also very good. It's got an area called the Hanafaru Bay, which is a marine protected biosphere base there. So if you want to see manta rays feeding, particularly from May to October, it's a really good area to go to. And it's like a little enclosed bay where they come and feed on plankton. And they basically go on a feeding frenzy. So you get a permit for 2 hours. You can snorkel with maybe like 40, 50 mantas if you're lucky. So that's a pretty good one. And then where else? Yeah, a lot of the southern atolls have the best of the coral reef as well, the least amount of bleaching. So if you head south, you tend to get the best quality coral as a general rule as well.
Okay, I've got a number of other questions coming in now, which is great. Alicia Sharp asks, what would you say are some of the best resorts with a house reef?
Yeah, okay. Well, actually, one you'll be hearing about shortly is from Catherine, is a place called Villa Reef, which I've been to a couple of times, and the last time I was there was a really good reef, really good house reef. I also saw some dolphins directly from snorkeling in the reef, so that was a really cool experience. And that's in the south, so okay. That's a good recommendation. But yeah, there's quite a few. We do have a list of resorts like best for house reef. So I'm very happy if you want to drop me an email, I can send you our list because there's a few to choose between.
That's really helpful. Thank you. Okay, I've got another one here, and this is from Kathleen Hutbeth, who asks, if you had a client who wanted to do a 2-island trip, which islands would you recommend, as transfers may not be simple?
Yeah, I'd always recommend if you're doing a twin sender stay, maybe consider doing 2 islands in the same atoll, so you can get a speedboat direct from one to the other. The risk with combining 2 islands is if you've got 2 islands that are miles away from each other, you've got to go via Mali Airport, then catch another seaplane, and then you could waste about half a day waiting for the seaplane connections.
Right.
So yeah, easiest to transfer in the same atoll, then you can get a speedboat directly from one to the other, or combine one atoll that's outside of the Mali area and make sure you've got one resort in the Mali area. So when you fly back to the Mali International Airport, you can just take a speedboat to wherever you're staying for your second part.
Okay, along the same lines, I've got a question from Niall Wallace, who asked, what is the best resort for families with younger children, say 3 to 10 age range, if there is
yeah,
one?
that's a good question. So as a general rule, I think the larger properties with the sort of multi-bedroom rooms and the more facilities like kids clubs and water sports tend to be better equipped for children. So yeah, if you've got younger children up to sort of younger teenagers, you could look at something like the Siyam or Fushi. It's got a really fantastic kids club there. I definitely recommend that. Otherwise, if they're very, very little, Niama also is quite good. They've got good sort of childcare facilities. And they've broken up their kids club into 5 different sections called tribes. So they specialize in each different age group, and that's a really good family-friendly resort as well.
Okay, fantastic. That covers that very, very well. I've got a question from Adrian Doyle. So he missed the beginning, so he's sorry if this was covered. Do you package with flights, etc., or do you suggest they use a consolidator, or how would you use you? If that makes sense.
Yeah, we do. We actually have a flight consolidator, so we can package everything up for you with flights, and we have an atoll license ourselves. So yes, we can do that.
Okay, one from Paula McCarthy. Would Sun Island be the largest of the... Paula is using block capitals in her question, so I don't know whether she expects me to shout. Hopefully not. Would Sun Island be the largest of the islands, and how long would the transfer by seaplane be?
Yeah, Sun Island is one of the larger resort islands in the Maldives. I believe the largest remains Suniva Fushi and one and only Risira. They're the 2 biggest, but Sun Island's definitely up there as one of the bigger 4 stars. And the transfer time, I think, is about half an hour, followed by a 5-minute speedboat.
Okay, awesome. Okay, we're gonna sort of get a couple more in quickly. I've got a question here from one of the agents who's asked, what would you recommend is the best resort, because we've sort of covered small children, so what would you recommend is the best resort for honeymooners?
So for honeymooners, you could consider some of the adult-only resorts. There's a few resorts in the Maldives that don't allow any children at all. So if you've got people worried about screaming kids in pools and things, then you might want to think about, I mean, not that is really an issue in the Maldives anyway, but there are a few adult-only resorts. You've got like a 5-star all-inclusive like Hurawali, which is for adults only. It's very, very nice. Like minimalist Japanese design, partially solar powered. It's a really cool resort. And then you've got some more affordable options. Somewhere like Kamandu is a very good, affordable option. And then, like Villarife I mentioned earlier is quite a sort of relaxed, quiet atmosphere, really good for honeymooners, quite romantic, and you've got that great house reef there. So that could work as well.
Fantastic. I think we've covered an awful lot of ground there. As we always do, we're happy to pass on any ones that we haven't covered the answers for to you after the event. I'm now going to ask you, Thomas, if you can, to run through, can you ask your competition question, but obviously outline your prize first. Agents, pens and pads at the ready, and you'll have to go to the Travel Bulletin website, travelbulletin.co.uk/webinar competition to enter. Go for it, Thomas.
Yeah, so the competition prize is a bottle of champagne you would get in the Maldives, so a taste of the Maldives while you're locked up at home. And the question is, what is the newest villa at Sun Island, which I mentioned?
Okay, so just a quick recap on that. It's a bottle of champagne that you would be getting if you were on holiday with Hummingbird in the Maldives. And what are the names of the newest room types added to Sun Island? Is that right? That's right, isn't it? Good. Okay. Thank you so much, Thomas, for your presentation, and thank you for another great training session. If we can now, it's now time to meet our second presenter, who, following on the footsteps of Thomas's great promotion of her resorts, please welcome Catherine Wood, the Regional Account Director for Siyam Resorts. How have you been, Catherine?
I've been fine, thank you, sitting here in my bedroom, back wanting to go to the Maldives. I've been fine, yeah, no, got so excited last week with everything, and then it's been sat watching the Boris Johnson news on Saturday. It was despairing, but we will manage, we will get through. It's now back to a lot of rebookings. November was looking like a great month for last minute bookings. It's such a shame. But you know what, we'll all get through this. We'll all get there in the end.
We will, absolutely. And the fact is that where a lot of our wonderful agents who are watching at the moment, where they're looking for is not only now, but they're looking throughout 2021 and into 2022 in terms of their clients. So please give them a wonderful presentation about everything that the Siyam Resorts have to offer. I'll leave it to you.
Thank you very much. Let me try and share the screen. Here we go. Right. Okay, so let me just start the slideshow. It's doing a little bit of a thing from the beginning. So here are my details to start. I'm Catherine Wood. I'm the Regional Account Director for the Siyam group of resorts. We have 4 properties in the Maldives, a 5th about to open. We've also got 1 in Sri Lanka. I'm going to concentrate on just the Maldives today. And they're independently owned by Mr. Siyam, yes. So I'm going to start with our Siyam Irafushi. This is our 5-star premium sort of deluxe property. This reopened on the 1st of August, so it's been open for a bit now. You'll get there by seaplane, and that is a 45-minute seaplane transfer to the north there, to the Nunu Atoll. Now, this is our own Siyam Seaplane Lounge. This is one of the largest in Mali Airport. You'll be able to check in here. There's food and beverage. You can even have a shower if you want. In the corner there's a nice little place to have a bit of a spa treatment as well, yes. It's quite a big island, the Siyam Irafushi. It's got 221 rooms in total, and 138 of these are our beach villas, yes. So we'll start with the deluxe beach villa, which is a big room there, as you can see, and all the deluxe beach villas have their own cabana. And then we'll go up a category with the deluxe beach villa with pool, as you'll see in this picture. All the beach villas have these beautiful bathing areas in the back there. Look at that lovely jacuzzi tub, which they fill for your arrival, yes. Nice little swing bed there and a couple of outdoor showers, yeah. We've got a few family deluxe beach villas with pool. This is a great family room here because it's slightly bigger. And as you can see, we have the separate bedroom there, separate sitting room. So we can put the kids' day beds in that sitting room. And there is a door to cut off the 2 areas there. This comes with a pool at the front of the property. And then we've also got exactly the same room type with a pool at the back of the property. Very private, yes, which is an excellent sort of option for Muslim families if they want to bathe in privacy, yes. Here is our beautiful lead-in water villa here. Lovely private deck there with your own steps down into the sea. I think the USPs, I'd say, of the Siyam Irafushi are your amount of dining options on the island. As I said, it's quite a big island. So we've got a choice of 15 bars and restaurants to choose from. So we've got here's a picture of your seafood grill. We've got Italian, French, Middle Eastern, Indian, Asian, you name it, we've got it, yeah. So this is dine around, yeah. So if you were to go to, let's say, the Italian, you could basically have an all-inclusive menu there that gives you a choice of 3 or 4 starters, mains and puddings, and that's all the a la carte restaurants. Yes, you can dine around on half board, full board and all inclusive, so you're never going to get bored really. Spa, this is an award-winning spa here, Spa by Thalga, really worth talking about. We have 23 different treatment rooms and over 160 different treatments to choose from. Also offer a fantastic wellness program here. So we can choose a 5-day, 7-day, 10-day program, or if your clients have any special requirements, send them over because they can design a program for you. They really know their stuff here. Kids Club, as Thomas mentioned, they've got an excellent Kids Club here. Again, it won an award. It is basically free of charge for to under 12 years old. We recommend sort of booking in advance due to having to limit numbers at the moment, yes. We've got quite a few offers on with all our properties at the moment. So for bookings from now until the end of January and from travel right through to October 2021, and that's no blackouts, we have discounted transfers, 30% off the room rate, and meal plan upgrades, free meal plan upgrades. So BB to HB, HB to FB, and FB to AI there, yes. I really want to talk though about this child discount that we have at the Irafushi. So basically at the Irafushi, we consider children to be under 15 years of age, not under 12, which is like most of the norm. And what you can do here is have 2 kids stay in your room free of charge under 15 and also eat on the same meal plan free of charge. So when you've got a 14-year-old lad who eats quite a lot, that saves you a lot of money, yes. Here's a few names of who you can book all our properties through down there, but I can fill you in if you want to get in touch with that. I'm now going to move on to our next property, the Sun Siyam Oluveli. 4-star plus property, and that reopened in 15th of July, so it's been open, as I say, for quite a bit of time now. This is a really good affordable property and really good standard as well, yes. It's also just a speedboat transfer down to the south, so that's 45 minutes speedboat transfer, which again, for those a bit of a budget, just brings those costs down a bit, yes. This is our lead-in room type here. Deluxe room comes in blocks of 4, 2 up, 2 down, some with interconnection. So if you want to put a request in for interconnecting rooms, you can, and they're all on the beachfront there, yes. This is the Grand Beach Suite with pool, which is relatively new property to the island, and this is what I call the really good family unit here, because as you can see, it's got a massive pool there, and it's also, if you look inside there, they've got that separate sleeping areas. Yeah, so you've got your bedroom separated off by a small sitting room, so if you want to put day beds in the sitting area there, you've also got a lovely outdoor bathing area at the back there. These are very new to the property as well, yes. Grand water villas. We have a lot of them up. It's sort of got 2 islands there. We've got a main island and a little dream island, which is joined by a bridge there. And these are up on the dream island, yes. So they come with or without a pool. Now, if you book at the Oluveli, you will be booking on full board, and there's a small supplement to go all inclusive. So full board or all inclusive means all your meals at the buffet restaurants, yes. We've got a lot of other options there to dine around, and we'll give you 50% off any of the other outlets if you'd like to go to those. So this picture here is of your Sunset buffet restaurant. To the right here, we've got a lagoon restaurant, which is Mediterranean. Beautiful little bar outside there, does lovely cocktails. We've also got Thai, a couple of seafood grills, we've got a pizzeria, yeah. So there's quite a few options there, yeah. We have 2 spas, one on the main island and one on Dream Island. This is the new Sun Spa on Dream Island, which is basically an overwater spa. It's lovely. We are now requiring pre-booking due to COVID, and we do ask for guests to shower before they go there, yes. Totally refurbished kids club. It's looking excellent. Free of charge 4 to under 12s. And another of the USPs, apart from affordability, I'd say with Oluveli, is the amount of activities you can do on the island. Yeah. So on the main island, just above it, you get quite a big bit of wind. So you've got kite surfing, catamaran sailing, windsurfing, you name it. And just to the south, just at the end of the pontoon there, and we've got a fantastic house reef, yeah, so a lot to do. So you know, you don't normally get reefs and winds, you know, sort of together really. So with the affordability and the amount of things to do, that I think it's a great option for sort of families with maybe slightly older kids. Yeah, we've currently got a 30% off at the moment for bookings right up to the end of January and travel right through to October there. Again, at the Olive Valley, we consider kids under 15, so you can have up to 2 kids free of charge in your room. They can eat on the same meal plan as the parents, free of charge, and 2 kids under 15 can transfer for free as well. So as I said, a really good option for families maybe with older kids. Yeah, really keeps who are on a bit of a budget, keeps those costs down. Yes. I'm now going to move on to the next one, Sun Siyam Iruveli, our 5-star premium all-inclusive property. This just reopened in the 1st of October, and it's relatively new to the group. Yes. So again, you will get a seaplane, and that is a 35-minute seaplane transfer down to the south there. Yes, shares the same seaplane lounge. Now, I would say the USPs here of the Iruveli, firstly, that every single room here has its own private pool. Yes, so this here is your lead-in beach suite with pool. Also, the other USP I think about the Iruveli is the amount of inclusions in with their all-inclusive program here. So it is dine around. You get $100 spa credit per person per stay. If you don't want that spa credit, you can get 3 dives per week. You've got your mini bars included and refreshed daily. We've got shisha, yeah, we've got 3 excursions. So when you look at all the inclusions, this is actually looking at really good value for money, yeah. Here is your lead-in water villa category, the ocean suite with pool, lovely big decking there, yeah. Now, the only real difference I would say between the ocean suite and upgrade to the dolphin suite is location. So over here, you've got the ocean suite with pools. Here, we've just got 14 of these dolphin suites with pools, yeah. And these are situated on a sort of cut through of where the dolphins swim past every day. So hopefully, unless you're extremely unlucky, you can just sit on your deck and watch the dolphins swim past. As mentioned, there's dine around here. We don't have as huge amount of options as the other bigger islands, but we do have a fine dining Italian restaurant. We have a seafood grill. We have a buffet restaurant. We've also got a bar chemistry, which also does some nice snacks as well. So there's enough going on there to sort of keep you going there. Beautiful overwater spa there. It's just 6 different treatment rooms and a hydrotherapy area. And we've got a whopping 40% off at the moment and discounted seaplanes. Yeah, so with that all-inclusive program, including a lot, this is a really good coming in at good value for money at the moment. So yes, booking this now to the end of Jan, and we'll travel right through to the 31st of October. Yeah. On to the next. Yeah. Sun Siyam Vilu Reef. Yes, this is what I call a 5-star lead-in property here. Yes, again, it's just reopened 1st of October. Now, your lead-in room type here is your beach villa. Now, these are all standalone. Yes, and they very bright and white throughout with a splash of orange and pink. Now then they go up in categories, whether they've got this cabana at the front there, or then the category up is a cabana and a jacuzzi tub in the back, until we get to the Sun Aqua Pool Villa, which is pictured here, which has the pool as well. Yeah, really nice. This is your lead-in reef villa. All of them come with a jacuzzi tub on the deck there, and then we go up in categories, whether you've got a sunset view, bigger jacuzzi tub, or we go to the Infinity Water Villa, which has basically got a massive infinity pool, a big deck there, and a separate bedroom sitting room. Again, at the Vilu Reef, we have dine around here. So we have a choice of, this is your buffet restaurant, the Aqua Buffet Restaurant, lovely location over the sea there. We also have a well-done seafood grill. We have a spice restaurant. We have a couple of bars. One of the bars has by the pool has some snacks there too. So you've got a decent amount of options there, and big dine around. Yeah. Beautiful little spa, just 8 different treatment rooms, and beautifully done. And a lovely little kids club, again free of charge, 4 to under 12s. Yeah, yes. As Thomas mentioned here, I think one of the best USPs of this property is house reef, fantastic house reef here. You just get to this beautiful shore, just reef just off the shore there, and there is a great big drop off as well, where you can see your sharks and your turtles and what have you. So it's also affordable, really good value for money, I'd say. 25% off at the moment we have for bookings right through to the end of Jan, and travel right through to the end of October. Yes. Last but not least, and this very brief, this one, Siyam World. Yes, this is new. This hasn't even opened yet. It is opening March 2021. It is a 4-star plus property. Worth talking about, I would say, the USPs of one of the USPs of this property. It's a 4-star property that is dying around. There is a lot of options. It is a big property. We've got about sort of, just under 500 rooms here. So they've got a lot of dining options going on. Yeah. So we've got their buffets, we've got Italian, Indian, we've got a vegan restaurant there as well now, seafood grills, you name it. Yes. Second USP of the Siyam World, I say, is your lead-in room type here is a water villa. Yes, normally this will cost you more. Yeah, it'll be a supplement to go into a water villa, but this is your lead-in option at this property. Here we've got a nice picture of the deluxe beach villas with pools. And just to say, we've got a special launch offer on at the moment. Bookings for now until 31st of Jan, travel through to the end of October. We have 25% of all the room rates and free of charge transfers. That's for 2 persons, domestic transfer and boat transfer. Yes. So that's it. That's it. That was a lot of talking there. So.
Oh, I think you've done a fantastic job there, Catherine. We've learned so much about all of the room options. I'm going to launch straight in because I've got about 10 questions to get across to you. So let's get as many through as we can do.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. We'll start with Michael Atkinson, who's asked, do you work with all the main suppliers in terms of tour operators and what have you?
Yes, basically, pretty much. Obviously, you can book through Hummingbirds. There you go, Thomas. Yeah, you get the really good rate through Hummingbird. Yeah, gold medal, travel to If Only, Emirates Holidays, you name it. Yeah.
Okay, fine. So the wide range of suppliers. Also from Julie Hendrickson, if a client does half board and wants to eat out, how much would a sort of a meal with drinks cost locally, do you think?
Right. If this is like basically half board option would just be at the Irafushi. It's the drinks that is your main cost. Yeah. You're going to be paying. You can get the starter, a sort of main course. Nothing to think sort of around $25 US. It's the drink, and even water there costs a lot of money. Do you know what I mean? I sort of really recommend going straight in, because otherwise you're going to be totally worried about looking at your bill at the end. You don't have the option of nipping down the road like you do in Thailand to a nice little noodle store. It's you can be paying up to sort of £5 quid for a bottle of water. So I would, wine will be going to be coming in at a good sort of 25-30 quid plus. Yeah.
So it's the use the facilities that are there basically.
If you don't want alcohol, then I think the full board is a good option. But even then, for the slight extra, for the amount of soft drinks, because you do get thirsty, it's a hot country, yeah. The amount of what soft drinks you're going to get is going to make your bill quite considerably bigger. So I would say go all inclusive, and then you just don't worry. Yeah? Okay.
Right, I've got lots to run through. So I've got Linda Buckingham asks, do all the rates include transfers?
The rates, no. Basically, there'll be transfers on top. So Thomas knows it all. You've got a choice of either domestic or boat or seaplane. So when I give a rate to Thomas, depending, he will package it up with whatever you want. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay. Nicholas Horn has asked, which resorts offer sort of weddings and blessings, or do all of them do it? One would imagine that most of them offer something along those lines.
Yeah, they all do it. They all do it, yes.
Okay. Sharon Clayson asks, are all the restaurants included in a dine around package, or are there some that aren't included?
With the Irafushi, the only one that's not included is the teppanyaki, and then dine around with the Vilu Reef and the Iravelli all included. And as I mentioned with the Oluvelli, it is just the buffet restaurants, and then nothing else is included. So you can go to the other outlets, and they'll give you 50% off.
Okay. Angela Tad asks, with regards to the, I can't remember, is it the Iravelli where they've got the dolphins that swim past the?
Yes.
It is. So at the Iravelli, do you see the dolphins? I know you can't guarantee them. It's like going to the Northern Lights. They're not all, the dolphins aren't always there. But do you see them most of the year, are there particular times of year?
I think most of the year, but I really don't ever guarantee on anything happening. It's just, I think it happens quite often because they bothered to build these properties on that stretch and charge a supplement for it. So it happens on quite a regular basis, but I never want to guarantee anything, gosh, especially with years like we've just had.
No, absolutely, and we understand that. I've got one more. We're going to make room for one more. This is from Fiona Bibby. She's got a client who's looking, she's quoting for at the moment, and they will be arriving and they'll be celebrating his 60th a few days after arrival, providing the quote goes through, probably through Thomas, hopefully. Anyway, but let's hope so. Do you do anything for people who are celebrating sort of significant birthdays or anything like that?
Yes, absolutely. We've got some extras, anniversary extras. So when you put the booking through, make sure you state that. There's also, we do a discount for over 60. So it depends on what, by the sounds of it, he's turning 60 there. So we usually do an extra percentage offer for over 60, but I think you have to be 60 on arrival.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, that's brilliant. I'm sure.
Yeah.
We can always follow up afterwards, and we'll obviously sort of make sure that you've got people's details. But thank you for that. If we can sort of round up now, Catherine, by you telling us what your wonderful prize is and giving us the competition question as well.
Yes. The prize I'm giving today is 5-night stay at the Iravelli for 2 adults, and that includes your seaplane transfers. Yes. And the question is, how many bars and restaurants do we have at the Irafushi?
Okay, so to round that one off, you have to go to travelbulletin.co.uk /webinar competition. The question is, as Catherine just stated it, because I've forgotten it.
How many bars and restaurants are there at the Irafushi? Just to butt in.
How many bars and restaurants are there at the Irafushi? And obviously, please put that answer into our webinar competition page on the website. Thank you again, Catherine. We'll see you at the end. But thank you very much for a great training session.
No worries. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. It's now time for our third presenter, Karen Confey from the Seychelles Tourist Office. She joined us last week, and it's great. She's keen to come back and update more of you today. Karen, how have you been?
Simon, I'm great, thank you. Happy to be back, and excellent to be with everybody else here from the Indian Ocean, a little part of the world. So very pleased to be back.
Well, it's wonderful. We've got fantastic questions coming in from our agents throughout the presentation so far today. So that bodes well. Hopefully they'll keep you on your toes at the end of your presentation. Without further ado, let's leave you to it, and you share your screen and launch into it. Thank you.
Super, will do, Simon. So good afternoon, everybody. So I'm Karen from the Seychelles Tourism Board. So today I will tell you a little bit about my islands, the little Seychelles. So off we go. So the Seychelles is just located north of Madagascar on the east coast of Africa, just about 4 to 10 degrees south of the equator. So we are an archipelago. So altogether we have 150 islands. So many islands, but tiny islands, and they all split up into different groups. with the inner island group being the main area where all the tourists go, where all the visitors will travel as well. We do have two types of islands, the granitic islands with the rocks formations and the granitic boulders, but we also have the little coral atolls similar to the Maldives, and you can visit both of them. This is the inner island group, so this is where all the action is happening. You have the main island of Mahe, Praia and Ladik, and like I said, this is the main hub of the Seychelles. So what we always encourage when traveling to the Seychelles is the island hopping. So I always feel you go there, you stay only in one place, you really miss out. So the island hopping is the way to go. And obviously in 7 nights, 10 nights, you can really see up to 3 or 4 islands. So this is how you move around by helicopter, by fast ferry boat, and also by the small domestic flight. Very easily accessible, really great transport network. So this is Mahe, the main island where we have National Airport. So all the flights land on Mahe, and it's also home to our little capital, Victoria. It is known to be one of the smallest capitals in the world, and you can walk around in 10 minutes and have discovered everything. We have our tropical market where you can have local fish, vegetables, spices, and of course, this is where you will meet the locals and have a little banter and have a little chat. Museums, art galleries, so a lot to see in Victoria, and it must be on the itinerary. Outside of Victoria, for example, we have our rumbery, and this is also a must where you can go and taste the local rum, the Takamaka rum. So many flavors to choose from. And you can see where they make the rum as well. You have the spice gardens and botanical gardens as well. We do have some of the most beautiful beaches just on Mahe as well, 65 beaches to discover. And again, in the Seychelles, it's long deserted beaches where you will be on your own the whole day and you're practically, let's say, social distancing. The island has 3 marine parks, really perfect for snorkeling, and you could just go on your own and you can go and discover the underwater world. From Mahe, then you go down to Praia. And Praia is the 2nd largest island, easy 15 minutes flight and 1 hour ferry boat with many flights and ferries throughout the day. What is special about the island is our legendary Vallée de Mai. It is known to be the Garden of Eden. There's so many legends and stories about it, and it's home for the famous coco de mer. The coco de mer is the largest nut in the world. It can grow up to about 30 kilos, and it grows here naturally. And it's also the home of our black parrot, which is a bird that you will only find in the Seychelles. So this is a must on your itinerary as well. On the island, it's got stunning beaches like Georgette, the one at the top, Petit Ansquel, the one at the bottom. So many beaches to choose from. And its location is ideal as well because you can go to other little islands during the day. For example, Crusoe is a bird nature reserve. Curious is the home of the giant tortoises, which I will show you. So this is one of the most popular, Anse-Lazio. Again, you will hardly see anybody there on the day, and you have this beautiful, beautiful crystal clear waters. Curious, this is where you can go mingle with our tortoises, but again, you will find them in Mahe, Praia, Ladik, and they're such amazing creatures. And actually one of the oldest creatures as well. Ladik, then from Praia, you move down to Ladik. Very different, very authentic, very traditional. I always feel it's like you're going back in time. It's a different pace of life on the island. And the main mode of transportation is bicycles. So visitors and locals, that's the only way to get around. It is home to some of our most stunning beaches. There's a nature reserve, and you really get this island life, island experience. So some of our most popular is Anse d'Argent. This is a must. It is the one with the granitic boulders and the formations. It's almost like sculptures. So this is definitely a must. Anse Coco, if you want to walk a little bit more, you can go to Anse Coco, which is again completely remote and very few people go. The other islands in the Seychelles, the granitic islands, are mainly one island, one resort concept. So the excellent combination with Mahe, Praia, and Ladik. And here you get a little bit of your own island concept as there's no population living, and you have some very famous high-end luxury ones and sort of mid-range as well. Silhouette is actually the 3rd largest island in the Seychelles. It's actually bigger than Ladik, but again, there's no population, just one resort. And it is a complete virgin forest, bird sanctuaries, and excellent diving and snorkeling. And there's the Hilton properties on the island. When you move a little bit further up north, you've got the Coral Islands, and two of them, Bird and Dennis, they have a resort you can go and visit, only about 30-40 minutes flight. And again, a completely different experience from the Granitic Islands. So this is beautiful, surrounded by coral reefs, excellent diving and snorkeling. And on Bird, you have a very, very special guest, and his name is Esmeralda. He is actually one of the oldest giant tortoises in the world, nearly 200 years old. So if you're lucky, you go to Bird Island, you will meet Esmeralda. And as you move further out to the outer islands, most of the islands are uninhabited. You have two of them that have a resort, which is which is Alphonse, that have a blue safari, and they have an excellent resort there. And also De Roche has the Four Seasons. So these are also can be experienced. But again, is the modern Robinson Crusoe, laid back. And what is special there on the outer islands is the fly fishing. We have some of the top world-class fly fishing, and people from everywhere in the world will go there for that. And then I'll move on to the Seychelles in general. I mean, the population, the Creole, Seychellois, it is a mixed race of people from Africa, Asia, and Europe. And we do have 3 official languages, which is English, French, and Creole, which is our local language. When you look at the dance in the Seychelles, the culture, it's a mix of African influences, from the dance around the fire on the beach. And there's a lot of culture and a lot of a blend, I would say. Same for the food, the cuisine, it's excellent cuisine, from our typical grilled fish with the chili, to the octopus curry and the octopus salads, to the chicken coconut curry. So a lot to choose from, and very, very tasty food. So you would love the food in the Seychelles. So when can you go to the islands? We are an all year round destination, so makes us ideal all year. We're outside of the cyclone belt. We don't get affected by cyclones. So pleasant climate, temperature from 26 to 32 all year round. However, if you want to pick some of the best months to travel, March, April, May, September, October, November is the best of the best. December to February is the period where we get a bit more tropical showers. Being close to the equator, we get a little bit all year round, but it would be a bit more frequent during December and February, but it's still perfect for your perfect trip. In terms of accommodation, we do have a bit of everything for everyone. This is an important point. It's not just a high-end luxury destination. You have some spectacular resorts, like this one is the Four Seasons on these perfect beaches, but we also have little guest houses, self-caterings, apartments, beach bungalows and villas, maisons. So whatever your budget, you will find something on the 3 main islands. In terms of the nature, this is something really, really close to our heart, very, very important. We do have about 1,000 species of endemic flora and fauna. For nature lovers, Seychelles is a paradise. So it's not just a beach destination, you have adventure and things to explore, from the little green geckos to the beautiful tropical flowers, to the little frogs, and of course the sea turtles. When you go snorkeling and diving, you're bound to see them as well. So a lot to discover. We do have another UNESCO site, which is Aldabra. It is one of the islands that is the furthest away, closer to the continent of Africa. And we have, 150,000 tortoises. And we always say in the Seychelles, we do have more tortoises than people. So it is quite special. So what to do when you get there? Like I mentioned, it's not just a beach. You have so much things to do, walks and trails. This is getting more and more popular. Just on Mahe, you have 12 trails. Pral and Ladig, you go up with a guide, you explore the forest, and this is where you would really discover the flora. You go up to the waterfalls, you can even have a swim in the river. So beautiful sceneries. Sailing and cruising, day cruises, 5 nights, 7 nights cruises. And I would say these are the best ways to discover the islands. Fishing, very popular, big game fishing, deep sea fishing, and of course, the fly fishing out on the sandbanks. Snorkeling, we do have the water temperature of about 30 degrees. So you can go on your own easily, and also diving. Diving can be done on all the islands, but the best of the best, I would say, are out on the outer islands where it's completely untouched. And you have a lot of underwater caves and grottos as well, where you can do cave diving. Golf is very popular. We have an 18-hole golf course on the island of Prala, only one in the Seychelles, but a spectacular course as well with excellent views. Wellness and spa, you go to Seychelles, you do need to relax a little bit. And what we have always been known for, the islands of love, very romantic. You have so many locations to get married, from the beaches to the forest. And we even had one recently that got engaged while diving underwater. And the wedding is legal, so it's recognized internationally, and you get your certificate, and you can have your civil and your religious ceremony as well. So this is a beautiful shot in the Valley de Mai, so you can go and take some beautiful wedding shots in the Valley de Mai next to the waterfall. Just some basic essentials when traveling to the Seychelles, quite easy. You don't need a vaccination, you don't need any visas, and very short time difference as well. So you land in the morning, for example, with BA, and you have your whole day, and you don't get the big jet lag as well. You can move around on your own easily. You can rent a car in Mahi and Prale, and there are taxis as well. And on La Digue, you have the bicycles, which is the best way to move around. So just to wrap up a little bit, I would say the unique selling points of the Seychelles: we are still one of the most pristine, uncommercialized destinations remaining. No mass tourism, no overdevelopment. So still you have the exclusivity. It's still diverse, and it's, I would say, there's a lot to see and do. So diversity, the island, the people, the culture, diverse across the whole spectrum. Excellent climate, the flora and the fauna, and like I mentioned, the kilometers of uncrowded beaches all year. The people are very friendly. They make you feel at home. They make you feel like one of the locals. And especially if you go into small properties and self-catering, you'll become part of the family. So you'll definitely be coming back the next year. And Seychelles is still a very safe destination. You can move around on your own. You don't have to worry. When you go out hiking and when you see all the little insects and spiders, nothing is poisonous or dangerous. So you don't have to worry about that as well. No tropical diseases, yellow fever, malaria, so you don't need a vaccination as well. And you still, it's a living island, so you still get an authentic island experience, and you really become, like I say, one of the locals. And before I go, I would just like to mention, in terms of the entry requirements, Seychelles is open for UK visitors. All you need is your return ticket, your negative PCR test, which is 48 hours before departure. You have your hotel booking as well is needed. And for the first 5 nights, you need to stay in a designated hotel. Just to note, it's not room quarantine. You are allowed to move around in the resort, go to the beach and everything. And then after the 5 nights, you can move on to another property or another island and continue all your island hopping. And just before departure, you just have to upload everything on our travel authorization website. And you upload your information, and then you will get your authorization to enter the Seychelles. So, and I would say finally, it is a destination for everybody. It's perfect for families, it's perfect for couples, it's perfect for group of friends. So whatever kind of holiday you want to do in the Seychelles, it is ideal. So we do have our online training, the Seychelles.superstar.co.uk. So you can go on there and learn a little bit more about the Seychelles, do the quiz and become a Seychelles expert. So thank you very much. I hope I was able to give you a good overview of our little islands. So back to Simon.
Wonderful. Thank you ever so much. That was fantastic, Karen. It was highly informative. We've covered loads of ground there. As we have to when you're covering a whole destination.
Yes,
so I'm going to go straight in. I've got lots of questions for you.
Perfect.
So first of all, Michael Atkinson asks, in terms of high and low season. Now, what Michael means by that is, are there sort of highs and lows in terms of price as to when you would expect to pay more, or hopefully, I'm guessing, less?
Yes, we do. In terms of prices, and that falls well with the high and low season, actually. So the high season in the Seychelles, where the prices are a little bit higher, would be Easter holidays, summer holidays, let's say August. But the peak of the peak, I would say, would be the Christmas and New Year. So that is similar to all destinations. And this is where you would have a little bit higher prices in terms of flights as well as accommodation. So it would basically be school holidays and holidays.
Okay, at the moment, I'm just going to add a supplementary to that, if I can do from my own point of view.
Yeah.
Are you finding it at the moment, because of the situation with COVID and because of the, like Thomas was saying earlier, with regards to some of the properties that he's dealing with, that are massively reduced because they've just had a lack of bookings? Is that the case as well?
Yes, I wouldn't say massively because
That's
Seychelles,
me, sorry.
compared to the Maldives, that's always been a little bit of a difference. We would give discounts, there are special offers, but when you compare to Maldives, it's not as significant a discount. And that's always been a little bit the Seychelles way in terms of the industry and the tourism. So they would give it, but it wouldn't be as competitive. I have to say as competitive as Maldives, but definitely out there, we're seeing some very good deals at the moment, definitely.
Okay, good. Okay. Next one from Elaine Batcher. Do they still have ox carts for transport?
We do. Unfortunately, now we don't, because this was always been something really typical on Ladik. But as you know now, with animal welfare and animal cruelty and all of that, we kind of decided maybe now it's not the best. They do have it though on very special occasions, maybe wedding. If you want to have like a traditional local wedding with the ox cart, that is still available. But as a main mode of transportation, we've actually kind of stopped that now.
Get people using the bicycles.
Yes, they are using the bicycles, which I think even a little bit cultural.
No, that's fair enough.
Yes.
Trish Griffiths asks, she went about 15 years ago,
Nice.
and when she went outside of resort, she didn't find that much life in terms of opportunities for eating out, and that sort of thing. Has it changed much in the last 15 years?
Definitely, it has changed where you've got more local restaurants that have opened up, more services, more, I would say, things to do outside of the resort. So there is a big difference from 15 years ago, but again, it's not overdone. This is important. It's not overdeveloped and overdone. So in the villages, you will have restaurants, especially I would say in the north of Mahe at Beauvalon. So definitely more than they were 15 years ago. I have to say that.
Now, Trish is being greedy because she's asked another question now as well.
Yeah, sure.
And she's asked, where would you recommend for a family that has 2 children that like sort of scuba diving and snorkeling if they're going October time?
Okay, so October definitely is the period, is the best for in terms of diving and snorkeling, as the best visibility and water temperature. On the island, for example, I would definitely say either Mahe and Prala. So that's fine for families. And then it just depends where you want to go. So like I said, north of the island is more active. There's more shops, restaurants, you can move about easier. Even with the kids, you can walk, go to the shops, go to restaurants. If you want a little bit more quiet, then you would go down to the south, as things are a little bit more spaced out. But again, the snorkeling is great a little bit everywhere, and diving, they just take you out to some best diving spots. But and the same for Prala as well. So north if you want a bit more active, and south if you want a bit more quiet, and that is for Mahe.
That really depends on their parenting skills, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Okay, I've got another one here from, this is a very specific one to you. You've got to answer this yourself now. And I don't know whether this is that COVID friendly a question, but we'll see. Kathleen Husbeth asks, have you tried bat curry?
I actually have. It is a delicacy in the Seychelles. I said I wouldn't because it just was like, no. But last year on a fam trip, and one of the hotels wanted the agents to try it. So I tried it. It tastes like chicken, very tiny with little bits of meat and a lot of bones. I wouldn't say it's going to be on my daily meals. And like you say, COVID friendly now. Bat is frowned upon. So, but I have tried it. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good to know. We'll do one more question, and then we're going to wrap up because we are running short of time. And Karen Trowbridge asks, what, in your view, is the best time of year to go?
So I would say in your spring, so March, April, May, and your autumn, September, October, November. Because ideally, when you look at these 2 periods, they would have a bit less rain, they would have less wind, and also you would have better conditions in terms of the ocean for snorkeling and diving. July, August is great, but a bit more wind, so the sea crossing between the islands can get a bit bumpy if you're not used to that. And December, you should expect a bit more tropical showers. So your spring and autumn, I would say, is the best.
Okay, fantastic. Well, that covers everything. Well, there are some questions that we can still carry on and pass on to you.
Please do send it to me.
We will, absolutely. And thank you so much for answering all of those, especially the back curry one. I'm fascinated by that now. So can I ask you, Karen, to tell us about your prize and give us your question to be answered by the agent for that prize?
Sure. So our prize, we will have a nice little goodie bag from the Seychelles with some scented Seychelles diffusers and candles, as well as some soaps and some spices. So just to give you your home a little bit of a Seychelles touch. And the question is, what are the 3 official languages of the Seychelles?
Okay, that was something that was covered by Karen in her presentation.
Yes,
and it is.
I made it quite easy today.
Yeah, well, that's good. It's good not being too tricky, and it's not. The question isn't which is Karen's favourite bat meal, but the question is, what are the 3 official languages of the Seychelles? So please go to travelbulletin.co.uk/webinar competition. Now, I want you to I'd like to thank Karen very much for your presentation. So I'm going to ask you to go off screen briefly while that's wonderful. Thank you. She's very, very obedient. Well done, Karen. Thank you. I'm going to let you know about we've got another prize for you as well. And then I'm going to bring everyone else back to say goodbye. So we've got a final prize that you can win today. It's donated by us at Travel Bulletin. And it's a £40 Amazon voucher. Our question is, when is our Mediterranean webinar taking place? So by the way, if you haven't registered for that, then please log on to our website and put your name down. And you're going to have to sort of go on to our, so again, enter all our answers via our competition questions via travelbulletin.co.uk/webinar competition by 2 p.m. on Thursday. So we've come near enough to the end of this particular webcast. If you do want to watch it again, and why wouldn't you, then please go to our website and you can recap on any information within it. It'll be viewable tomorrow, not only on our website, but also on YouTube, and it'll also be up on our Facebook page. I'm sure you'll agree we've learned an awful lot today, and that's entirely down to our partners. So thanks again to Thomas, to Karen, and to Catherine. Please come back and say goodbye to everyone.
Thank you very much.
Everyone. Please give the agents a big wave and say goodbye to them if you would.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you all for tuning in, and please do have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday afternoon. Thanks, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.